before we go through the updates, and we can share you about the studies about our community size. We have an idea of where we are. So in the last month, in the marketplace we grew around 300, and for the auto basic, we grew around 2,000. The good thing is actually our package is going a very exponential growth. We noticed in the last month we grew about like 50% for the packaging, because I think this is largely due to the AI, and also maybe like we have like a more maturity of the tools, and we also have a public number is the library downloads. So you can I think you can go to the moonkicks.io. So we have a real time how many language the library download from the community. It doesn't include the server library and your local cache, so only from the server side. So actually, I think we are doing very well thanks to the AI. I think our early effort in making the movie more friendly to AI actually pay off. Okay, so that's the. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Actually, so you can hear me now, right? Oh, okay. So just double check. So, can you hear? Can you hear me? You can. I made a silly mistake. So I suppose everyone can hear me. Now I can continue. Okay, cool. So yeah. So before we get started, I would like to share with our community growth in the last month. We have the marketplace, the download from the Microsoft marketplace. Went by in the last month went by like 3,000, and for open basic is around 20,000. And the good news is our package actually grew a lot. I think it grew by 50% in just single month. And also we make the public the downloads number, which is public. So we have around like 3 million downloads from the community. It doesn't include your local cache. So you have a local cache, it will not be included. And it doesn't include the external library. So it's almost from the community libraries. Yeah, that's pretty much the community goals. I think our efforts to make MoonBit AI friendly actually pay off. So you can see the community, the library actually keep increasing. So now we will go through our last monthly release, give you a brief about the motivation, and explain a little bit about the design behind the idea. So the first is we have some subtle change in the function max with the hash alias. As a free FN, we no longer inherit the attributes. This is because sometimes you want to choose them separately. For example, you have a package which is a deprecation function, then you have a pub using, and then you still make sure the pub using doesn't deprecate to affect downstream. So this gives you more fine-grained control about the deprecation. Yeah, and number two is pretty straightforward. We now allow you to concatenate string in the const. The const is a compile time evaluation. So if you go to the const, this will be guaranteed to be folded in a literal string. So it gives you better optimization. And actually, we will show you in the next. We will have a const rejects. The const rejects coming soon. So we have compile time folding the reject expression. Then the compiler, because compiler knows the reject expression, will give you a very optimized output code for the const. I will show you later. Another cool stuff I think is for in. For in now we have a payload. So previously, if you write a fold, if we have already fold array of loop, you have to either write in the imperative style, let's mute accumulator, right? Then you have for loop, or write in a actually not very readable function style. So MoonBit, we like the functional style. We like the purely functional style, but we don't want to make the code less readable. So for this, we need to use a for loop with a payload. So here we have implicit state, which is a for loop of the operator, and then you can loop value, and then actually this is purely functional. There's no mutation. Actually, it's not just for in. I can write you another example. Is in this. You can write for example. You can write the. Let me make this larger. Okay. So you can write for example, I want to write Fibonacci, right? The Fib function. Now I can write for a number in 0 dot slash n, and then a equal 1, b equal 1. Then we'll continue value b, a plus b, and then when we are done, we can just say no break. It means we have written the value. You can just say return the a. So this is much more readable without the it uses the for in loop and continue with payload, and it's purely functional. So it's very hard to write the incorrect code while still maintain the readability. I like the feature very much. Oh yeah, yeah. So the fourth one is the deprecate. Actually, it's a long. It's deprecated for a long time. It's previously when you have the trait, which is for type, is defined in the trait package. You can still use the dot to call the function. This is just removed. So it was deprecated when we removed it in this release. Oh, this is another thing we deprecate for infinite loop. Actually, the motivation is we want to support a for pattern in iterator. We are not adding it yet, but once we remove the for loop, we'll add this. So you can write the for pattern match in the iterator. They give you a very nice syntax sugar. So to complement this, we have to add the for double semicolon, very much like the C language. Yeah, that's the motivation. Yeah, another is a minor tweak. So now you can previously you have the semicolon is required, but now in this series, the semicolon is optional for I equals 0. Actually optional, slightly improvement. Oh, sorry, I missed so this actually is what I mentioned. Remove the behavior allowing the implementation to always be called by dot. So this has been deprecated for a while, but in this case we officially remove it. Yeah, you're welcome to ask me. Feel free to interrupt me for any questions. And this is another. I think it's another minor change to ask you to make sure you have to mark the owned and borrow convention in your FFI code, because in the future we plan to change to the borrow as a default. This is better. I mean, in most cases, you write the FFI code, you will find in most cases you interoperate with the C code. In most cases, you write the borrow for the parameter, right? So now this for in this case, if you don't have an explicit annotation, then give you an error. Then we remind you in the future we will change the default from the owned to borrow. And then in this one, it's because when we are trying to add this new feature, we found some bugs, so we fix the bugs for the for loop. And the improve error message. This is straightforward, so we don't explain too much here. Improve the error message for this one. And this one is per user request. We found that a lot of people are trying to deep into the FFI to do some very dangerous stuff, and we want to encourage the user to experiment the feature. Like for example, we are very strict about the FFI. We don't allow you to interpret FFI like array of the like for example the generics array of the arbitrary value. We have very strict check. But for this reason, we added an attribute called unsafe speed subcheck. So when you add this one, we don't do any check. So you are free to do anything you want, but be careful because it's always very dangerous to do in FFI. So we may add some flag to do a more serious check when we have more time. Yeah, that's the thing we have. Another is something we're very excited about is Moon IDE. So Moon IDE, we have a lot of subcommands. If you don't know Moon IDE, I think you should check it out. Moon IDE is basically a command for agents. So agents can use the Moon IDE for all the semantic analysis. So we have a new analyze command to analyze the user's public API. Because if it's in your model repo setting, right? In your model repo, so for example, when you are running a library, if the function is public, so you can claim it's always not that code. But that's not the case, because if a library is unused by any other library, then it's still that code. So we will print the package the public API usage, give you how it's used and how many is used in the testing. And then because the sometimes you always, if you write a library, you always have a one or two function with a public. In that case, we encourage the user use the convention to have exposter MBT. And for this code, then we will report, this is used in the exposter MBT. With this, it's good enough to remove all the unused dead code by the AI. So AI can use the code Moon ID analyze for all your package, right? Then AI will find all the public API which is not used by any package and not in the export.mbt. Then AI will mark it unused. AI will try to remove the code. Then in your touch loop, in your iteration, AI will remove all the unused code. So it will help you to do the clean the AI slot. So I like it very much, and I already use it a lot. Yeah, so we also had another is Moon ID analyze a lot of paths. So there's another convention. So if, for example, you have a Moon IDE analyze, for example, internal star slash. In this case, suppose because we have a convention, right? For all the internal stuff, we don't plan to export anything. Then Moon ID will report all the unused code for you. So it's even faster because it's do it in a batch style. Cool. So yeah, so another feature I'm very excited about is supported package. Now we have a feature called because MoonBit support the multiple packages, right? We support the JavaScript, the Watson. Now we have an official feature called supported package, and then we have actually we have a syntax which is not documented here. So if you use our weekly, maybe nightly release, we have like the in our moon.pkg file. Actually, you will have a supported targets equal JS, and then Moon check will in our native backend will skip the package, and this combined with our workspace support, we are going to add a monorepo style workspace support. Actually, we make MoonBit a really good language for the full stack development. So for the full stack, you have your front, which is using the MoonBit JavaScript backend, and for native backend, you use the MoonBit for the server side, use the MoonBit native backend. They can share the code, and we already have the full support in the build system. So this is the motivation of this feature is to give you the full stack support for MoonBit. So now you can, and this full stack support actually is unlike the Node.js. Node.js, you are still running the code in the Node.js runtime, which is very heavy, right? So in MoonBit, our frontend is still using the JavaScript front, but our backend actually is a native backend. It's much more efficient. Cool. So yeah. So this then there's another feature is people complain a lot when we upgrade the compiler, then give you a sec fault. Now the build system will check the compiler, so give you less noise. Another cool feature is we have the MBTS support, which is a single file script mode. So you can just echo the script and then run the Moon run in a single file. And also you can import other package, all the package from the mooncakes.io. And then this is just our first stop. In the future, because MoonBit has very good support for the JSON and the JS experience support, right? So we expect in the future the large language model. Actually, we use MoonBit as a script model, and because we give you the sandbox. So hopefully MoonBit will be a very ideal language for LLM. And for Star Library, because these days everybody is writing the CLI applications, write the CLI because it's more friendly to the large language model. We have a official the Arc library. Actually, the example is quite robust because in check mode, actually you don't need to write the packaging notation. So it's actually very. I think you just need to write the. I think you can write in a very declared style. Let me write down. Actually, you can write the. For example, you can write the. You can just copy here, and then because in the check mode, actually you don't need to write the package name. Very. In my opinion, very you don't need to write this one. So it's fairly very declarative in my opinion. So I hope you like give it a try. Maybe after AI read the library, you can just figure out how to use the library. Now another good stuff is we have a JavaScript backend now include the HTTP client. So if you write a coded agent in MoonBit, on your desktop, you can use the native as a native backend for the best performance. But you can also make your agent deploy to the browser in the same code base by running the JavaScript backend. Cool. So this is pretty much the stuff in the last month. Actually, it's quite a lot, and because we have a very long holiday, so you can expect we have more in the next month release. Now I will go through the exciting stuff what we are working on. We are working on in the next month. So the first thing actually is a deprecation we are planning to do. It's a deprecated derived shoe. If you follow the MoonBit, you know we have officially we have a derived debug, right? We have official derived debug. So actually this is more like the Rust style derived debug. It give you static diff and pre-print output format. But we want to derive the deprecate the deriving shoe. Shoe in the shoe tree actually is quite similar to the Rust display. And for this we encourage to do the handwrite display. The rationale is I think the rationale is pretty much the same as the Rust because it's very hard to give you a standard format which is used by display. So we are going to derive shoe, and this is a very large deprecation. So we will be patient to make the derive for to keep we'll give you a derive warning for a very long time before we officially remove it. But we encourage you to try to derive debug instead of derive shoe. And handwritten shoe if you really need the shoe trait. Another cool stuff is we are going to have the workspace spot. It's very like the moon.work.json, and actually I have an example. Let me find the example in my code base. Let me try the I think it's in the MoonBit community, maybe in the MoonBit community. For example, I really like the feature. It's a Tomo parser, right? So this one we have a Moon work.json. We give you what module you are using. Then in the model repo setting, the Moon build system, we use the current for example current lecture and current utility test, and then you can Moon publish them together. The Moon workspace design is exactly the same as the Golang, so it's very close to the Golang workspace. Yeah, so why the motivation of the workspace is because in the area of AI, the AI want to know all the code base, and the AI want to change all the modules in parallel. So we prioritize the workspace part. Another cool stuff I want to show you the formal verification. So actually this is quite nice. I'll give you an example. It's in our in my code in my repo. The MoonBit proof. So this repo is generated by the AI. It has a lot of the. For example, I give you have a few like the what does it look like. So you write the ensure. You write the require and you write the ensure, right? And this is a predicate. This is leaving another file. You write the ensure and require, and you write all the invariants. And of course, you may need to write all the proof assets in the middle to help the SMT solver to resolve this. And this is the informal reasoning. And then the predicate is defined in this file in a formal style. Then we call the moon proof. We call moon proof. Yeah, moon proof. And then we will compile this into the logic format, which is understandable by the C3 and other SMT solver. And then we will try to solve the puzzle, solve the logic equations. When it's done, then we will say, oh, MoonBit is formally proved. This is formally proved. Actually, I see some fun example like for example, like the market in the finance. In the market, I think it's market analysis. So you can write a very formal financial equation in your MoonBit code, and then ask the AI to generate all the invariants, and then use our moon proof to verify actually it's correct. This is so we actually MoonBit. I would claim MoonBit is a reliable programming language. So to increase the reliability, we do this in many dimensions. For example, we have a test as a keyword, right? So it's very easy to write test. We have the sound type system, so there's no runtime exception. And then we have quick check style fuzzy testing. And now we have a formal verification. Formal verification is give you a full guarantee of the correctness of the program. And unlike the COC or unlike the Lean4, our formal guarantee is very tightly integrated with MoonBit. So you verify a subset of MoonBit code, and then it's more robust. So if you use COC, then you have to extract the COC code into the OCaml or other language. So you have to extract the code, and this is not the case in MoonBit. Yeah, so this is just the early beginning. Eventually, we'll write our own theorem prover. Currently, we are using the Z3 or Y3 as a theorem underlying the theorem prover, but eventually we'll write our own theorem prover to make it more vertically integrated. Cool. Another thing is regex expression. We have been working this for a very long time, but eventually I think we are reaching the final stage. So our regex expression is I like very very much. Is composable, so you can compose a regex expression, right? Because the biggest problem with regex expression is very hard to read the code because it's a white space sensitive. In white space, now you can compose them together like the regex expression plus regex expression, and then you have all regex expression. You can decompose a large regex expression into a small parts, and then you can do the execute. So this is quite nice. Another good stuff is because we have compile time evaluation. Now we can make the compile time constant x, and then the compile time evaluation will do the compile time folding of the regex expression, and then you use our syntax sugar, right? Match the string with the regex expression. This will generate a very efficient code, the bare metal efficient code. So I think we will officially announce this in the next monthly release. I really like it very much. It gives you readability of the regex expression and give you the best performance. I believe this kind of style is close to the handwritten code without regex expression. Another feature I'm excited is about the support of the JSX and the training lambda. Actually, the support is quite the syntax is very small. We already have like this one. We already have like the XFAB, right? This is equivalent to the FXAB. And now we're going to have the FAB. This is equal to FABX. And very lightweight syntax sugar, but give you support for both the training lambda and JSX. For example, this one. This is so this is essentially equivalent to the FX. Yeah, this one. I think give you less the pattern size. And now give you another example is the JSX. Now you can read the with this syntax sugar, the JSX will be if you look just look left right the UI code, it's very like the XML without the angle bracket, so the layout looks really beautiful of the UI, how the UI is composed. So I really like the syntax sugar. Yeah, that's the next thing coming. Another thing is the GC improvement. So previously we use our function is owned by default. After we do some benchmark, we found this is not ideal for the performance. So in the next release, we'll give you the borrow conversion by default, and you can opt in the owned conversion. I believe this will give you maybe 20 to 30% performance improvement on native backend. But we are going to introduce environment variable, and you can do the benchmark, and the feedback is very much appreciated. Then we can adjust the GC call conversion. And the last few things, the list conversion and the clean up of the call. So this will maybe take some time, and after that we will reach the 1.0. So this is pretty much everything we did in the last month and what we are going to do in the next month. So I'm very glad to share with you, and I'm also happy to take any question if you have any question. Let me check the chat box. Yeah. Welcome to ask any question. If you have any, or type here if you are you have any question. Yeah. Any question for the movie or any? I mean, technical or non-technical is very welcome. Yeah. If you know other question, then we can start here. Yeah, I mean, in overall, I believe I think the last 2 or 3 months, we saw in my opinion, we saw very close to exponential growth in the MoonBit community. So we will see, and we are excited about this. I believe when we reach the 1.0, we reach back 1.0, we will see even large growth in the coming months. I will be very happy and honored to work with you together to see the vibrant community in the MoonBit language. Yeah. If you know a question, we may stop here. Thank you very much for your yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. How's the bootstrap that compiler going on?
The bootstrap. So actually, our front end, I think it's open source. Let me check. Actually, I think the past. I remember the movie one. The movie one. We have if I remember correctly, the front end is open source, and it's maintained. Maybe not in movie. Check the community. Yeah, I think. Anyway, I will find later. So the movie, the front end is already written in MoonBit. So for the bootstrapping, I think we may start in the next year, maybe in the middle of next year. So because the movie is still quite evolving a lot, so until we are comfortable that the movie performance is better than Ocamo in the symbolic manipulation, if the movie is much faster than Ocamo in the symbolic domain, then we will start do the migration. So because the movie actually is very close to the Ocamo, we believe when we start the migration, maybe will be mostly done by the AI to do, because we don't use any fancy feature from Ocamo. We don't use the functor in our compiler. So the migration will be straightforward, but we still want to wait the MoonBit tool chain and the performance to be better than OCaml to start the bootstrap. Yeah. Cool. Any other question? All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and we will see you in 1 month. Have a good day. Bye bye.
All right.
Indeed. 好，我们下次再可能提前点时间调，
我确实得提前一点。
就可以搞个假的 meeting 弄就好了。
这次因为是第